Whenever you want to make a project on Make a Server, there's some things that you probably won't know about logic gates. This video is the whole entire purpose of logic gates, and what you can do with them and how they work. So without further ado, let's get into the video. If you want to follow along with this video, you're going to need a logic gate, a command executor, a GUI button, and a rate limiter, if you want to not be able to spam. Somebody did ask me about how these rate limiters work. So basically, the amount of signals that you want to happen go at the top, at the bottom box. So if I wanted it to happen like 11 times, I would put 11 at the top box. On the bottom box, you'd put the amount of seconds it would take for the next signal to be played. So if you wanted to signal something twice, you will be able to signal it twice before you'd have to wait that amount of seconds. I'll go more in depth at maybe later in the video. Here is where the real fun begins. This is called a logic gate, and logic gates are usually used to make things happen when certain requirements are met, like true or false, number values, or letter values. Let's talk about them first by using hastag. Hastag is a command that picks up whenever somebody has a certain tag. I'll show you. As you can probably tell from this playback, it says that the value isn't true. But that's because I haven't given myself a tag yet. This is me when I give myself the tag and test it. See? Now it's true. That's basically what hastag is. Hastag will check if you have a certain tag, and if you have it, then it'll make sure that it's true. But if you want it to be false, all you have to do is change the code around and make it so that way it'll only react when it's false. So that way, if it's false, it's true, and if it's true, it's false. Pretty simple. The next one we're going to do is getstat. Getstat is basically the same thing as hastag, but with stats. However, there's only one stat that can actually relate to hastag, but it can only store only one bit. It's text. Text stats are a lot more flexible than number stats, but number stats are used as in currency, levels, and maybe even someday data collecting. I don't know, people can do crazy things and make a server. The first one that we're going to be experimenting with is numbers. The number stat is mainly used the most since it's used for money, currency, levels, and many other things. You probably have used stats before and have been trying to figure out how to make a buying system, like a shop or something. This part could help you. Yay! The first useful thing that you need to know is that there are different symbols that you can use that represent different things. Those symbols are useful for if you want to be able to have certain requirements, or if you just want to make certain things happen at certain points of a stat. Some stats don't need this, while other stats do. Funny enough, mainly the number stats are going to be needed when you're using these symbols. I'll explain them to you. The first one is equal, self-explanatory. More than, self-explanatory. Less than, self-explanatory. More than or equal to, meaning that the first number can be more than or equal to the second. Less than or equal to, meaning that the first number can be less than or equal to the second. What you also want to keep in mind is that these little symbols count for only the first number. So if the first number is more than 10 in the second box, that would mean that the first number, or the stat when you use getstat, is going to be more than 10. If it's confusing, I'll explain more about it maybe later on. Next up on our list is going to be text stats. Now, we already talked a lot about text stats, but the funny thing about text stats is that you can also use text stats with the math symbols, but only when the text is a number. No other letters or any fancy other thing in there, only letters. But for now, I'll show you what you can do with text. When you're using text stats, you want to be careful, mainly because of how easy they are to break. With numbers, they aren't that hard to break since it's just numbers and you can just count up and down. So you might want to be careful whenever you're using text as well. Even though it's more flexible, it's easier to break. The easier something is to break, the harder it is going to be to fix it. With text stats, it's pretty straightforward. Whatever text is inside of the stat will be dragged over here. Basically, whatever text is in that stat that you want to equal to, you would put it in the other box over here. So basically anything inside of that stat, if it's equal to it, then it'll be true. Otherwise, it's false. That's pretty much it. Very easy. This command is purely useless if you're trying to make a game with it, but I'll still explain it anyway for those who are trying to figure it out. But first, I need to introduce you to a special guest. You probably know them, but they're gonna help me out with this part of the video. Introducing... Essie! This command isn't really that important, but what it does is that it grabs the rank of somebody. So if somebody is ranked mod, it will grab the number ID according to that rank. Like how mod is 1, admin is 3, head admin is 5, and owner admin is 7. The rank IDs don't really have to be that big, but they can be useful if you're trying to make detection systems to give people free admin whenever someone joins. Or if somebody resets their character, but they already have admin and you made a system that already gives them admin, you can use this to make it so that way it only ranks them once and not more than once. That way it's easier for you to decluster and it saves the hassle. By the way, you don't have to worry about the overseer and the developer ranks. More than likely because an overseer or a developer isn't gonna join your game. Sorry, not to be rude of course. But if you still want to try them, you can try 11 for overseers and 13s for the developer. Though, I don't exactly know if they have ranks, because their icons is just emojis, the server owners being a crown emoji, the overseers being the evil eye emoji, and the developer being a hammer. Pretty simple, but it's not really that big of an importance. What you're looking at over here is how the system works. Basically, it's just number stats, but with rank IDs instead. Pretty simple, and it's easily implemented, since it's literally just getstat, but instead get rank ID, player, and that's pretty much it. The math symbols also work for this one, so you can still use them, and you can also do some pretty neat tricks with it. Have fun! Hi everyone, it's me, BTCR. I have some bad news. So, I basically got myself a brand new PC and lost all the data to this video, meaning that I won't be able to continue editing this part of the video. Basically, I'm gonna have to separate this into 2 parts, so be on the lookout for part 2 of this video. This is not done, and more than likely I will make a contemplation of both videos together. So if you want to see more of this kind of stuff, leave a comment below. Be sure to like and subscribe if this helps you out. And yeah, see you later, I guess. Also, the bacon raid video is just now starting to be edited because of the brand new PC I have. A lot less lag, and it shouldn't take this long, so I'll try to be faster. Sorry for all the long waits and stuff. I haven't uploaded in like a very long time. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I apologize. I hope you have a great day. And yeah, bye. Thank you for watching.